Welcome back to my channel. It's another episode of Miss Elle Presents. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week. If you haven't done so in past videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can do it right down there. I definitely appreciate that. It helps to get the information out to other people who might find it useful. So thank you so much for that. So I just got back from out of town. One of the great things that I love about traveling is that when I come back home, I have a basket full of stuff. I got some eggplants, my little jewel eggplants. I got a bunch of grape and cherry tomatoes. I got a few bell peppers, 3 of them. And then I also got some of my peppers off of my pepper plant. So I have one hot pepper, I have a mild pepper, and I also have a couple of habanero peppers in addition to the bell pepper varieties that I have. So what I want to do, because I'm not going to use all of these hot peppers while they're fresh. So what I'm actually going to do is a little trial and error here. I want to cut the peppers up, put them on my dehydrator, and see if I can make my own crushed red pepper flakes. So all of these peppers aren't red, but I do have a mix of mild peppers and hot peppers, and I'm hoping that that is going to give me sort of flavor combination, a depth of flavor with the different types of peppers versus just having all of them being one type of pepper. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. First thing I'm going to do is cut everything up. I'm going to put it all on the tray for the dehydrator, and I'm going to dehydrate these probably for about 8 hours until later on tonight. And then we'll come back and we'll see how it all turned out and go from there. And if this experiment worked, it'll be something that you guys can try. And if it didn't work, then what we'll do is we will try it sort of slightly differently with another batch of peppers. So let's get started. I'm gonna switch you guys. So that you can see the cutting board. Okay. So these are the red peppers. Unfortunately I forget the actual name, but I will link it. I'll put it in the video by the time it gets posted. And then these are some green peppers. These are not spicy enough that I can't eat this raw, but I do like to cook it and add it to stir fries and things. This is a great pepper for that. And I'll also link the name of this pepper in the video when it gets posted. This is one of my jars that I use. It's an old mixed nut container, and I just use it for things that are going to be going out to the compost. It's sort of like a garbage bowl. And so this is what the red peppers look like on the inside. These are really, really hot, so you always want to make sure that you're not like touching your face or touching your eyes after you've started to cut up these peppers. So I'm just going to take the stems out. Cut these guys. Okay, so now with the green peppers, I am going to cut the tops off of these and then cut them down lengthwise so that I'll have a little bit more surface area for them to dehydrate and that they'll fit on the trays. Okay, so here we have it. All the peppers are cut up. I also want to make sure that I mention that the peppers were washed before we started. I just put the tops of the peppers in my recycle compost bowl, and I'll take that out to the compost pile in just a minute. Also wanted to mention that these green peppers, another way that I thought as I was cutting them up that would be really good for them, if I picked them when they were smaller, maybe about that big, these would make really good pepperoncini peppers. If you pickled these, because they do have a little bit of heat to them, but they're not tremendously hot. And you could take these and pickle them to make pepperoncini out of them. Which is the salad peppers, like the ones that you get if you go to like a Greek restaurant or something like that in the salads, like if you go to Olive Garden. So now we're going to load up the first tray, and then this tray is going to be the green peppers. And I am leaving the seeds in because whenever you buy crushed red peppers at the store, the seeds are always in there. So there's no need to take them out for this process. This is also a really good time if you're planning to save any of your seeds. This is the time when you want to remove those and put them into a space where you can save them into a paper bag or something like that. So we're going to take this second tray, put it on top of the first one. Okay, and then we are going to lay these ones out. Now, I think these ones might be, let's see. Okay, no, they'll fit. We're just going to lay these out like this. And I love my dehydrator. You can just do so much with it. If you don't have a dehydrator at home, I strongly suggest that you get one. It's just a great way to preserve everything that you're working so hard for in your garden. So I'm going to take these. I always put an empty tray on the top, just so that way when I put the lid on, the air that's coming out of here is not literally blasting down on that first row of vegetables or fruit or whatever it is that I'm trying to dehydrate. So we'll move everything out like that. And I'm going to plug this in. And we will look at this. It says herbs and spices, nuts and seeds, fruits and vegetables. 135 degrees. It's already set there, probably because I was dehydrating some pineapples or something the last time I used this. So it's 3:15 in the afternoon. I'm gonna leave this probably until 11 o'clock tonight, but I will come back in and check on it probably around 8 o'clock just to kind of see how everything is going. Those green peppers are thinner than the red peppers, so they may take less time to dehydrate, and I may need to pull those early. But what I'm gonna do, once everything is dehydrated, I'm gonna take it and allow it to then dry, just really completely dry for probably another day or so, maybe even up to a week. And then I'll take all of it and put it in my food processor to get a really good crushed pepper flake. So I'm gonna show you guys that as soon as they're dehydrated, and we'll go on from there. So stay tuned. You guys, so welcome back. This is going to be the second part of my experiment with making my own crushed red pepper flakes. And I'm going to show you guys what I have now. I have my food processor out here, and we're going to go ahead and just make our red pepper flakes, or crushed pepper flakes. I can't call it red pepper flakes because they're not all red peppers. So I actually have a mix of two different types of peppers that I grew in my yard, and I don't eat enough hot peppers to cook them as they ripen. So I figured this would be a really great way to preserve them, so that way I can use them later on. And so let's go ahead and get started. So this is where we are here. So here's the dehydrator. This is done. I'll take the lid off of that. And this is my food processor. I am going to take my crushed peppers, and these are pretty dried out. You can hear the crunch. And again, I leave the seeds in them because I've never seen crushed red pepper flakes without the seeds in them. And you could also probably leave these dried and then just take the whole thing and drop it in like a soup or stew or something like that. These are these sort of milder green peppers. And I would imagine that the flavor and the heat is going to intensify now that they've been dried. Well, we're going to put all of this in here. And then in the very bottom, as these were drying out, some of the seeds fell out in here. So we're just going to bring this over. And so now all we have to do is just pulse this a couple times. Okay, awesome. And so what we have now, and you don't want to breathe that in because if that gets in your nose, it's not going to be fun. We just don't do what I just did. You have a wonderful sort of crushed pepper. I could probably grind this up a little bit more to get it really a little bit finer. But you could take this and bottle it now, put it away for later if you wanted to, or you could grind it a little bit more. And honestly, just the dust that kicks up off of that, you can tell that it's really, really intense. My nose is watering right now, so. Oh yeah, that's much, much better. I don't want to breathe in that dust. So you guys can see that this experiment was a success. It's my first time dehydrating red peppers or hot peppers. And I think it worked out pretty well. I'm gonna use this in chilies and pasta sauces and soups and things like that over the rest of the summer and the fall. And this is just one great way that you can sort of save the great things that are coming out of your yard, so that way you're able to enjoy those wonderful flavors and that homegrown freshness throughout the year. So I'm going to be using my dehydrator pretty regularly now that I have, a regular supply of the peppers coming in from the yard. And also I'm going to try to dry some mint because I have just a plethora of mint growing in the yard. So I'm going to try that as well next. If you guys have any ideas, or if you guys have a favorite vegetable or fruit that you like to use in your dehydrator, definitely leave that in the comments. I definitely am looking to get some more ideas on things that I can dehydrate to preserve for the long term. So I already do things like fruit. I already dehydrate things like fruit. I dehydrate fresh pineapple when pineapple goes on sale. I'll dehydrate apples to make snacks, bananas to make banana chips and things like that. But I haven't really gotten into, preserving other vegetables by dehydrating them and other things that come from the garden. So I'm really excited about this. I think that I'm actually going to do some tomatoes next. I have watched a video a couple days ago where someone was dehydrating some tomatoes, and they were using them just as snacks, but they were dehydrating them like all the way down to being completely dried. And I think that I kind of want to do more of like a sun-dried kind of tomato that still has a little bit of chewiness to it, and then just preserve it in some olive oil or something like that and use it that way. So I'm going to look for some ideas and recipes on that, and I hope that you will share your tips and recipes with me down in the comments or by message. I will have all of the social media linked over there or I don't know, somewhere, but it'll definitely be in the bottom. So definitely check me out. It'll be linked in the bottom. So please check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook. I just started a brand new business page on Instagram and on Facebook. So definitely check that out. And I also, if you guys are following me already on Instagram, you know that I just started a fitness challenge where I am doing minimum of 4 hours, maximum or goal of 8 hours wearing my waist trainer every single day. So if you guys want to join me on that challenge with the waist trainer and healthy eating for the rest of the month of July, definitely follow me on Instagram. I'm also doing a promotion on Instagram, and that'll be coming out if it's not out by the time that this video airs. So definitely look at that. Check out my Instagram and get more information there. You guys have a great rest of your week. As always, kisses. Bye-bye.